Yes, so let's start our discussion further. We will move further. So, from here till here, in the last lecture, we had understood the first paragraph of this Clayden book's first chapter. Okay, what is organic chemistry is the first chapter of Clayden's organic chemistry book, and in that particular chapter, we had covered from here till here. Okay, now we are going to cover the further next stanza, not stanza, paragraph actually. So, what is it saying? We, the authors, include ourselves in this generalization. So, what does it want to say? We, the authors, include ourselves in this generalization. It means that even the authors who are highly regarded authors, very much expert in their field, these authors, the Clayden book authors, are very much experienced in their particular organic chemistry field, but still they include themselves in that generalization. Which generalization? The generalization that no organic chemist, however brilliant, understands the detailed chemical working of the human mind or the body very well. So the thing is that how the body is working, how the body is converting sugars, how the body is converting sugars into energy, how the nerve impulses are being transmitted in the brain, and how you are able to see the things. Okay, how your eyes convert the signals into nerve impulses of vision, and what is the role of retinal in the photochemistry of vision. So all these things the author is trying to say, the author is trying to convey that we are the authors of this book, we are regarded as experts, we are regarded as experts, and we have written this book. Still we are under the generalization, means we also do not understand the detailed chemical working of the human mind and the detailed chemical working of the human body. Okay, so we, the authors, include ourselves in this generalization. But we are going to show you in this book what enormous strides. Now, what it wants to say further is that we are going to show you in this book. So, in this particular book, as we will proceed further, I am going to cover the entire book. But as the author is going to show you the further things, okay. So, we are going to show you in this book what enormous strides have been taken in the understanding of organic chemistry since the science came into being in the early years of the 19th century. So there have been every science. Okay, let me tell you that every science originates at some point of time, and then it keeps on evolving with time. It originates and then it keeps on evolving. It originates and then it keeps on evolving. Okay, so even the author does not understand the chemical working of human mind and body. Even the author is not able to understand it properly. So in this book he is going to explain. He will explain us that what enormous strides have been taken in understanding of organic chemistry. What does it mean by strides? Strides means processes. Okay, means step by step improvement. So enormous strides have been taken in the understanding of organic chemistry. So those strides, what does it mean by strides? Stride means steps ahead, long, huge steps. What does it mean by strides? Strides means huge steps. Okay. So in the study of organic chemistry, strides have been huge strides have taken place in the study of organic chemistry. So, in this book, what enormous strides have been taken in the understanding of organic chemistry will be discussed, and the science came into being in the early years of the 19th century. The science came into being in the early years of the 19th century. Now, what does it mean by 19th century? So, here is the slide which will explain you what is meant by 19th century. So, have a look at this particular slide. See, when we say 18th century, it means the period from January 1, 1701 to December 31st, 1800. This is called 18th century. What is 19th century? 19th century is period from January 1, 1801 to December 31st, 1900. This is 19th century. What is 20th century? 20th century is the period from January 1, 1901 to December 31st, 2000. This is 20th century. And what is 21st century? 21st century is a period from January 1, 2001 to December 31st, 2100. So these concepts must be clear. these concepts, that what is 18th century, what is 19th century, what is 20th century, what is 21st century, all these concepts must be very much clear for you to understand the book properly, because in this book these terms have been used again and again: 18th century, 19th century, 20th century, 21st century. These terms have been used again and again in this book, so you must be familiar with these terms. So the science came into being in the early years of the 19th century. So enormous strides, the science has evolved much to the higher levels. Okay, the science, organic chemistry science, has evolved into higher levels, but the science came into being in the early years of the 19th century. Okay, the science came into being in the early years of the 19th century. So what is 19th century? 19th century is a period from January 1, 1801 to December 31st, 1900. So during this 19th century, the science came into being. Okay, it began. So we can roughly say that from early years of the, what are early years of 19th century? Early years of 19th century means a period from 1801 to 1810, roughly. A period from 1801 to 1810. Okay, a period from 1801 to 1810 may be called as early years. This period may be called as early years of 19th century. Okay, early years of 19th century. So it is a period from 1801 to 1810. Okay, so you can have a look. So the science came into being in the early years of the 19th century. Organic chemistry, okay, organic chemistry began as a tentative attempt. How does it begin? How does organic chemistry begin? So organic chemistry began as a tentative attempt to understand the chemistry of life. So organic chemistry, it began to understand the chemistry of life, means organic chemistry began in the form of biochemistry. Organic chemistry began in the form of biochemistry. Okay, so what is biochemistry? Biochemistry is the chemistry of life. So organic chemistry began as a tentative attempt to understand the chemistry of life. It has grown into the confident basis of worldwide activities. Okay, so what does it want to, what does the author want to say? It has grown means organic chemistry has grown into the confident basis of worldwide activities that feed, clothe and cure millions of people. What does it mean by confident basis? Confident basis means that it is not a superficial science. Okay, confident basis, confident basis, confident basis means that it has specific rules. Okay, it has specific rules. That is what is the meaning of confident basis. Okay, so organic chemistry has grown into the confident basis of worldwide activities. So uh, for worldwide activities, for worldwide activities such as feeding, okay, food means we have packaging. Okay, so whatever foodstuffs come in the market, for example, if you purchase Lay's chips, if you purchase Lay's chips, potato wafers. So, in order to keep these things not preventing the spoilage, okay, in order to prevent the spoilage of the potato wafers, some preservatives are put in it. Okay, preservatives are put in it. So those preservatives those are derived from organic chemistry. Those preservatives are derived with the help of organic chemistry. Okay, so this organic chemistry feeds many people. Another example is that we have fertilizers, pesticides, insecticides. So those are important. Pesticides, insecticides, fertilizers, those are important for crops. Okay, so we have paddy crop, we have rice crop. Okay, so for all these crops there is organic chemistry involved in the manufacture of fertilizer, insecticide, pesticides, herbicides. Okay, in all these things organic chemistry is required. So organic chemistry is feeding many people. Okay, it whatever food we have on our table, that is also an organic compound. The food which we eat, usually the foods which we eat are organic compounds, complex organic compounds, right? So it is into the confident basis, means it is an important basis, uh, uh, preliminary basis of worldwide activities that feed. I have already given an example of feeding. Now cloth, CLOTHE, okay, cloth means to the activity of giving cloths. Okay, so it is giving cloths to the population, means कपड़े पहना रहा है लोगों को. Okay, in Hindi we can say that कपड़े पहना रहा है, means कपड़े provide कर रहा है. So he is providing the, not he, this organic chemistry is providing clothes to millions of people. Okay, so how does it provide cloths to millions of people? We have nylon cloths, we have dacron cloths, we have wool, we have silk, we have cotton, okay, rayon, okay. So all these polyester, all these are example of polymers. Okay, so many a times we want to wear clothes with some specific properties. For example, we need raincoats in rainy season. In rainy season, we need raincoats. Okay, raincoats. So those raincoats are also derived with the help of organic chemistry, because in raincoats, in the making of raincoats, use of polymers is involved. While making raincoats, we need polymers, and those polymers are derived from organic chemistry. Polymers are also derived from organic chemistry, from the understanding of organic chemistry. Okay, so it is also making you wear clothes. Okay, it is giving you clothes, it is feeding you, and it is curing millions of people. What does it mean by curing? Curing means treatment of disease. Curing means treatment of a particular disease. So many drugs, most of the drugs, medicinal drugs, those are also organic compounds. Okay, most of the drugs which are available in the market are also organic compounds. So it is feeding, it is clothing, and it is curing millions of people, and people don't even realize this particular fact without they are even being aware of the role of chemistry in their lives. So even though people are not aware that all these things, they see when a person wears a cloth. Okay, when a person wears a cloth, he or she does not care that where did the cloth come from. Okay, whenever a person wears a cloth, they do not care from where the cloth was, how was the cloth manufactured. No one cares that. No one cares about the fact that how the cloth was manufactured. So people even do not know the importance of these things. Okay. So without people even know being aware of the role of chemistry in their lives, so many of the people are wearing clothes. They are taking advantage of organic chemistry, but still they don't even know that organic chemistry is involved in this particular thing. Okay, so without people even being aware of the role of chemistry in their lives. Now we will move on towards the next slide. So this is the, let me put this to the downward side so that it does not disturb the recording. Okay. Chemists. Okay. Chemists cooperate with physicists and mathematicians to understand how molecules behave, and with biologists to understand how interaction between molecules underlie all of life. Okay. So chemists need the help of physicists, mathematicians, and biologists. Chemists need the help of physicists. Chemists need the help of physicists, mathematicians. Chemists need the help of physicists, mathematicians, and biologists to understand the chemistry properly. So how do they help? How do they take the help? How do chemists take help of physicists? So if we want to understand the behavior of molecule, okay, microscopic molecule. Molecule is a very small entity. Molecule is a very small entity. Okay, so it is microscopic in nature. It is microscopic in nature. It is not visible to naked eye. Okay, so molecule which is very small, it is of the order of molecule size is of the order of 10 to the power minus 10 meter. Okay, molecule size is of the order of 10 to the power minus 10 meter. So, if we want to understand the behavior of molecules, then we need to have a good knowledge of physics. If you want to understand the behavior of molecules, then we must have knowledge of physics. Similarly, knowledge of mathematics is also required to understand the behavior of molecules. For example, quantum physics. Okay, quantum physics, it explains the behavior of microscopic particles like molecules, atoms, etc. So, in order to understand quantum physics, which describes the behavior of microscopic particles, so quantum physics, which is describing the nature of microscopic particles and how they are behaving, it requires understanding of physics and mathematics. Okay, and why are biologists required? Why are biologists required? So biologists are required for understanding the biochemistry of life, understanding how biochemistry is affecting the life. Means, for example, if we want to talk about the breaking down of sugars into energy, okay, so it will require the understanding of biology. If you want to study digestion of food in humans, if you want to study digestion of food in humans, that also requires what? That also requires biochemistry, knowledge of biochemistry and help from biologists. Okay. Similarly, neurotransmission, neurotransmission. This neurotransmission also requires the help of biologists. Okay, only biologists can explain how the nerve impulses are being transmitted. So this area comes under biochemistry. Okay, so we are talking about physics and mathematics for understanding the behavior of particles like molecules. So what physics and mathematics do is that they are able to explain the motion of molecules. If we want to study motion of molecules, then motion of molecules can be studied with the help of physics and mathematics. Okay, the chemical nature of molecules, the chemical nature of molecules will be understood with the help of chemistry. Okay, chemistry will help you understand the chemical nature of molecules. And if you want to study the role of that molecule in life, if you want to study the role of that molecule in life, in biology, the role of that molecule in biology, in life processes, then we need biology. Okay, so this is the thing. The enlightenment. Okay, now let us move on towards further what the author wants to say, the next statement. Okay, the enlightenment brought by chemistry in the 20th century amounted to a revolution in our understanding of the molecular world. Okay, so let us understand the meaning of sentence from here till here. From here, let us erase everything. Let me mark it for you. The enlightenment brought by chemistry in the 20th century amounted to a revolution in our understanding of the molecular world. Okay, from here till here, let us understand the meaning. First of all, let us understand what is 20th century. So here is the 20th century definition. So 20th century is a period from 1901 till 2000, January 1, 1901 till December 31st, 2000. So this is what? This is 20th century. So the author is trying to convey message regarding this particular century. The enlightenment brought by chemistry in the 20th century amounted to a revolution in our understanding of the molecular world. So in the 20th century, that is from 1901 to 2000, in this particular century, the enlightenment which was brought by chemistry, it amounted to a revolution in our understanding of molecular world. So quantum chemistry, quantum physics, all of this stuff, they came into being from 1901 till 2000. Okay. So in this particular period, which is what? which is 20th century. Okay, so many of these disciplines like quantum chemistry, quantum physics, quantum mathematics, all these came into being in the 20th century, and they amounted to a revolution in our understanding of the molecular world. So for example, quantum chemistry, that that actually enhanced our understanding, that quantum chemistry enhanced our understanding of the molecular world, how the molecular world is different from macroscopic world. Okay, how the molecular world is different from macroscopic world, which is visible to naked eye. We came to know that in this particular 20th century time period. Okay, now what does it say after the comma? After comma it is saying, but in these first decades of the 21st century, the revolution is still far from complete. Okay, so what is 21st century? Let us understand. 21st century is this particular period. 21st century is this particular period from January 1, 2001 to December 31st, 2100. Okay, so right now 21st century is going on. When I am making this video at this particular moment, 21st century is in progress. Okay, so in the early, we are in the early, I am making this video in 2025. I am making this video in 2025. So we are in the third decade. Okay, third decade of 21st century is going on. Third decade means third 10-year period is called a decade. So first, so let us understand. Okay, 21st century means a period from 2000, 2001 till 2001 till 2100. Okay, this is what is 21st century. Let me write it properly. 2001 till 2100. This is what is 21st century. This is what 21st century. Let me write it properly. I don't know why I am making such mistakes. 21st century. Okay. Now, what is the first decade of 21st century? So, first decade of 21st century, it lasted from 2001 till 2010. That was what? First decade. First decade of 21st century. Okay. Now, what is second decade of 21st century? 2011 till 2020. This is second decade. Okay. Second decade of 21st century. What is third decade of 21st century? 2021 till 2030. This will be third decade. Okay, third decade of 21st century. Okay, so what does the author want to convey? Okay, so but in this first decade of the 21st century, okay, so first decades of the 21st century, that is this particular period. Okay, 2001 till 2030. In general, it is saying 2001 till date. Okay, 2001 till date. So these are early decades of 21st century. Okay, so in these first decades of the 21st century, the revolution is still far from complete. Okay, so the revolution in chemistry has not completed. Okay, chemistry is still developing. We may think that it has become static. No, it is dynamic. It is not a static subject. It is dynamic. Okay, so in this first year of the 21st century, the revolution, what type of revolution? Revolution in organic chemistry, revolution in science and technology. It is not yet complete. It is still far from complete. We still don't have complete information. We don't have answers to certain things. We still don't have answers to certain things. Okay, so certain things are still questioned and answers are not available. Okay, so the revolution is still far from complete. We aim not to give you the measurements of the skeleton of a dead science, but to equip you to understand the conflicting demands of an adolescent one. So, what does it want to say? What is the meaning of this sentence? Okay, so the author is saying that my aim is not to give you measurements of skeleton of a dead science. Measurement of skeleton of a dead science means I don't want to just give you the static knowledge. I don't just want you to give the static knowledge or crude facts. Okay, static knowledge or crude facts. I am not going to teach you all this. Okay, I am going to teach you the dynamicity. I am going to teach you the dynamicity of this particular organic chemistry field. I want to teach you the dynamicity. I am not going to make you cram. Okay, the author is trying to say that I will not make you cram the crude facts. I will not make you cram the crude facts. Instead, I will teach you dynamicity, and I will give you the evolution of chemistry and basic understanding of important concept. Okay. So, like a skeleton which is dead, I am not going to teach you like a skeleton which is dead. Instead, I will teach you dynamically like a adolescent. What does it mean by adolescent? Adolescent. I will teach you organic chemistry like a adolescence. Adolescent. So adolescent is a age where a person is growing. Okay, growth. Growth in humans. Growth age. Okay, the age in which a human grows. Okay, he or she moves from the means teenage. Okay, adolescent age, 12 years, 13 years age. That particular is the age of humans at which they grow rapidly. Okay, so he is saying he is comparing organic chemistry with adolescence. Okay, the human adolescence, and he is also comparing the cramming type of thing. So skeleton of dead science means static subject, only telling the crude facts without giving the complete knowledge. That is called as skeleton of dead science, means they are not teaching you properly. That is the meaning of this. So I will not teach you like this. Instead, I will equip you to understand the conflicting demands of an adolescent one. Means in chemistry also there are various school of thoughts. Okay, for example, a reaction has a particular mechanism. Now two scientists are there. They propose different mechanisms. Okay, mechanism 1 and mechanism 2. Now the chemistry is not still so advanced. The chemistry is not still so advanced that it can tell you which of the two mechanisms is correct. So there might be a group of scientists who consider that reaction mechanism number 1 is correct. Other group of scientists will say that reaction mechanism number 2 is correct. Okay, so these are conflicting ideas. Okay, so conflicting ideas of a science. Okay, conflicting demands of an adolescent science, evolving science, and these are the conflicting ideas, that whether mechanism 1 is true or mechanism 2 is true, or whether both of them are true. Okay, this is what is meaning of conflicting ideas. So he is going to teach you the conflicting ideas as well. He is not going to give you the crude facts and will ask you to cram this. No. Unlike our universities, Indian universities, where they do not teach you properly, and then you need to cram up the syllabus to score well or to pass the exam. Okay, so the author is not going to teach you in that way. Instead, he is going to teach you in an evolving way and will tell you the conflicting demands of like an adolescent child. Okay, so that is what is the meaning of this statement. So now from here onwards, like all sciences, from here onwards we will study in the next class. Thank you very much.